waitresses?
Same waitresses.
That would have been great.
I mean, the same kind. So I don't know which one's worse.
Yeah, I'm you.
That's
after
not even a real
makeover.
shirt.
Yeah.
So you've been in LA, you think that's a shirt.
What do you mean I've been in LA?
You've been in LA.
You've been to LA.
Look at
Yes,
you.
I've been to LA.
No, you've been spending time there, and that's why you're leaner, and you're wearing black, and you're grooming.
No, I wore black when I was fat, and so all my stuff is black now. I'm not so fat.
But no,
And
people
it was
in
always
London
stretchy.
don't wear shirts.
So it sort of hugged me. I can be any size in these clothes because they're all stretched.
I'm just curious, like, so you get an idea, and I know there's no real answer to this, but you get an idea. How long, on average, do you feel till it's done? Till you go, I got that to where I wanted it? How long would you say? Like, the first month, you know it's not going to be as good as after 6 months.
No, and there's a weird, almost fruit-like cycle to it because it gets ripe and then it starts rotting a little bit for me sometimes.
Right. The people that write about comedy, and I know it's not their business, the critics, but they should understand what an act is. When I go to see somebody work, I don't want to see your new hour.
I do.
I want to see the act.
See, this is
What's the difference?
eternal argument between him and I that we've
But
been
yours
we've
becomes
been,
the
we've been
act.
having this discussion literally.
Well, because
our
what is it?
whole
I have the same
relationship.
feeling because I throw away my act every year. I do a
Yeah,
new
so do
hour
I.
and then I throw it away and I never
well,
go
it's
back.
a-
All right,
as soon
fine.
as-
Can we get some real comedians?
No.
But I mean, you know, every year I get rid of, I don't know, 10 or 20%, and I add, and so it's every 5 years or 4 years. I don't really
Right.
keep track of it.
Right.
But I do feel like there are those core things. But you don't work like that. You like to create a show, and that's the show.
I like a whole
But those
new
200
show.
shows you do, what did you say, 200 or 600?
About 200.
Okay, so by the end of that, that's an act.
That's an act, and that's ready for HBO
Right.
if they want it. And bye.
But you must be coming up with stuff
I like
all the
stuff,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and so you gradually evolve the act. You do new stuff.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So
I like to keep evolving it. Like Jack Welch ran GE. Every year he fired the bottom 10%.
right.
That's the way
What's
I do
your
it.
oldest stuff? How old is your oldest stuff? Like, is this
I
like
don't-
sourdough bread that there's always
No,
a piece from
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. I've been doing Sucks and Great 10 years.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm like I grew up Woody Allen, Prince. I like short geniuses. Every year Woody Allen has a new movie. Every year Prince has a new album.
Right.
There's a
Well, that's why I look at it like
completely
you're
new body of work.
writing a book.
And that's the way I look at it. Like,
But Jerry's point
here's
is
the new
that
stuff.
when you go and see Prince, you want to see his greatest hits, not his new album you haven't heard.
No,
Is that
not
your-
necessarily.
I want to see both.
Not
I want
necessarily.
to see both. But I think if you leave out...
Maybe today I want to see the hits, but there was a moment there there was a 20-year period in Prince's career where I just wanted the new shit. I couldn't wait for the
Well,
new
you know
shit.
what
I
I
always
think?
think is that if people come and see you, because I have an ongoing relationship with my audience, I think, and a lot of people come back to see me. If somebody
Right.
sees you on TV doing a special and they see the stuff they love, and then they come see you live and they see it live, they'll actually be happy.
Right.
But they won't come back again. They'll go, I know what that guy does. If they come and see you live after the special and it's completely different.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
then
know
I
whether
guess
they're
that's
gonna
another
come
argument
again.
Chris and I have had. Are they coming to see you or are they coming to see the act?
They're coming to see you.
Well,
They're,
yeah,
they're
I think so.
absolutely coming to see you.
Of course, but
all
this level,
new
of course
material.
they are. They're not coming to discuss the evolution of the comedy. They're coming to see Jerry Seinfeld, aren't they? It's an event.
Yeah,
for
but
them.
I think Louis is right. If they see the exact same thing, then they won't come back
Those
again.
people will not come again.
Yeah.
But
Well, also the challenge of that, of like, there's a huge amount of pressure. People are coming, they paid a lot of money, they had to park, and they got in a fight with their date or whatever it is. So there is a lot of, there's a huge challenge in not having your old act. But I think you rise to the occasion. And you don't rise to the occasion if you don't put the void there.
Right.
If you
Well,
take
this-
away your old material from yourself, like one thing I started doing when I was developing hours is I'd take my closing bit and I'd open with it.
Right.
Just to fuck myself. Just
Right,
'cause then
right.
I have to follow my strongest bit.
That's how he got good. You see this attitude?
I-
And then my closing
He's a
bit would...
tough guy.
I've been watching them.
Yeah. He's a
Well,
tough
because then
guy.
the end of your act cauterizes it. It gets stronger just because because you don't have a choice. You know what I mean?
Cauterizes.
So that's why I started doing that. You get rid of all your best weapons, and you have to or else you're dead.
But don't you think
So
sometimes
it brings something out
when
of
we're
you.
discussing things like, oh, what do the audience expect or what do they want? There's something in me that says I don't care. It's not up to them. It's not up to them. I'll do exactly what I want, and that then you come. And, if you didn't like it, I don't care.
Yeah,
don't come and see me again. Don't ever come and see me again.
I think as long as that's...
Because I just don't want to be judged. I really don't want to be judged.
Well, then you're in the wrong business
I
completely.
never wanted to
What
be
do you
the-
mean, though?
Well,
Why?
you're going up there to be judged. No one is more judged in civilized society than a stand-up comedian. Every 12 seconds you're rated.
Yeah,
That's right.
But that's the feedback. That's what it gives you. They
Yeah.
laugh or they don't. What I mean is, I'm not entering a competition. This is not. I'm not entering a popularity contest.
But with yourself,
you are in a competition.
No, I think
no,
Ricky,
because
but
no,
Ricky's got the right attitude as long as it works. In
Well,
other
it
words,
seems to be
In other
working.
words, he doesn't care, and that's funny to people, and that's making them laugh, so it's okay.
Artistically, you're not
No.
entering a
Yeah.
competition. You're absolutely right, and you should write for yourself, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But when you play Radio City Music Hall or Madison Square Garden or whatever, you're competing with Led Zeppelin that was there the night before, or Prince, or
Well,
whatever.
you're competing with something.
You're competing with
To sell those tickets.
Whenever
I mean,
you-
you have to get to a level to sell a certain number of tickets. I mean,
every room you're in. You're competing with the people that played that room, and you have to be at least as good as the other people that played that room.
What
Yeah,
I mean
but
is,
Ricky's-
I don't
How's
change
that?
anything that I wouldn't want to do or has ever done to find an audience. I do what I do, and somewhere in the world, there's enough people that want to come and fill that venue.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right. It's like Darwinist, really, because you have your thing that you do, and then people flock to it. And if they don't, and then you
Exactly.
die.
remember the first time you met another kid that was funny?
Yeah.
That was a big
great.
It
deal.
was just so exciting.
That was a
amazing.
big deal.
I was in
Yeah.
3rd grade, and I met a kid that was funny. And
What was
man,
his name? Do you remember?
Jimmy Tenney.
Jimmy did.
And we started making each other laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't you remember kids that were like really funny, funnier than you?
Oh, way funnier.
And then you go off and you make this whole career out of it, and they're going, "Fuck, I could have
Yeah.
done that."
Well, there's guys that beat Jordan in basketball.
But I assume
They're out there.
you were always
I beat
funny,
him.
weren't you? I mean, I was always
I
trying
thought
to be
everybody
funny.
was funny. I only, like you said, I only hung out with the funny kids.
Yeah, but my family were funny, all the friends, but that was the important thing.
Yeah,
Where I
yeah,
grew up,
right.
once you'd paid your way, the point was to have a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that was usually, ribbing people, sort
I
of
ran
play
into
fighting.
one of my. There was a kid named Colin Ryan I went to junior high school with, and my first day of junior high school, it's a very scary step from
Yeah.
elementary school. From being like eating a lunch with a milk in the class, and then you're taking a shower with a bunch of kids. Like first day of junior high school, and I'm in the shower and I'm terrified and I don't know anybody. And then this kid next to me he just points and shows me that he's peeing on the kid next to him, who has no idea, who's just
Wow.
showering. He's
Wow.
peeing all over him, and I just died laughing. And he made me laugh that way a million times. And then I went to my high school reunion, and he was just kind of depressed-looking guy now.
Right.
And I told him that story, and I could see that the glimmer was a little faded. But then he said, somewhere that kid is walking around, still doesn't know I peed on him. I don't know what he does for a living, but
He
it's not
pees on
comedy.
people still.
Still pees on
Louis C.K. said this was really funny. Is it funny? It's not funny now.
I love jokes so much.
I know.
I love them so much that if I love, like, that's why I do your act. I love that joke. I never, the walk around. You want to do the joke?
Which one? The walk around
About
the
the vacation.
You're making me do my act in front of
I'll
those
do the
free
bit.
talk comedians.
In front of
Yeah, you do it.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
This is Jerry
I
Seinfeld
never heard
doing
you do
Louis
it.
C.K.
Okay. So I'm going on my vacation with my wife, my family. We pack up the car and the kids, and I'm clicking in the car seats, and I put the wife in, and I get everything set. And it's so much work to get a family in a car. I close the door for my wife on the passenger side. I walk around to the driver's side. That's my vacation. Is that how it goes?
Something that's total. That's a completely Seinfelded version.
Really?
I mean, you really polished it up. You made it
Really?
nice. You made it nice.
Okay, so now, just to finish the point, I
Yeah.
love that joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's a.
But you made it like a joke. You made it like a joke.
I heard it was
his.
his bit.
His is like his life's falling apart. That's
he
the
doesn't
difference,
want-
really.
Oh,
Isn't
you've
it?
heard him do this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
I
wanted
never
to
heard
see
it.
you do it. Now,
No, the thing that's so interesting. No, because when I do it, I'm sputtering through it. And sweaty anger and energy. But you turned it into a really beautifully crafted
And you could see that. You could see the moves and everything. It was clean. With Lou, you don't even know the joke's coming. When Louis did it, I didn't think that's a joke. I just thought this is a man falling apart for my pleasure.
You're like my youngest daughter.
This is a man spilling his heart out, telling me what a bad day he's had, and it's hilarious. But it's really
he's free
weird.
to do what he wants. I don't care.
No, I know, but I do that as well. I sort of disguise jokes. I don't think I make jokes. I think of a joke as the minimum amount of words to get to a punchline.
I think you do both at the same time. I think you try to. I try to make it seem like I'm just getting this out, but I know all the moves. I know every little piece of it.
But it still needs a joke under. That's the problem with. So many of these young guys, they think it's all attitude and all.
No, you got to work on it.
It's got to have jokes under this weird persona, under your crazy glasses, under your crazy voice, whatever gimmick you have.
There's like a difference.
It has to have. Yes. Henny Youngman has to have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put all kind of furniture, but you got to have steel in the walls.
Yeah. When I was like 19 or 20, I got to open for Jerry at the Paradise in Boston. This is before you had your show. It's the first time I opened for you. It was a big club. It was like a rock club that they did comedy with bigger acts.
Right.
And I got to open for you. And you got mad at me because I introduced you and said he's the best comedian in the world. And you did your set, and it must have never left your brain because the second you got off stage, you found me and said, don't fucking put pressure on a person like that. You don't say that when you bring somebody on stage. Really? It's a stupid thing. It must have been your whole act. You're thinking that fucking kid fucked me.
I did.
But that's not...
I know, but Tom Papa did the same thing to me about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I went right in the toilet at a benefit.
It's not. It was dumb.
The audience just went, oh, really?
I know.
And it was over.
I was 19 years old. But anyway, so you could
you were
mean. But anyway, then he invited me to do a bunch of shows with him. So we did some big theaters. And I had never done big theaters. And people applaud jokes in big theaters. Or they did then. Applause breaks were such an 80s thing. And so I'm opening for Jerry in front of like 1,200 or 2,500 people. And people are applauding bits. And I had never encountered that, and I didn't know how to handle it. Just standing there waiting for people to stop applauding.
Yeah.
And do I bow or do I say thank you? So I asked Jerry what to do, and he said, you stay in the bit. You stay in the bit that they're reacting to. You don't go, hey, people are applauding. If you're angry and that's why they're applauding, you stay in that energy.
Yeah.
Or if you're perplexed, you keep, and then by the way, it keeps them excited about it, and it keeps them. And that changed a lot for me. It made me think more about the way I
already knew that.
Being as a person.
They teach that.
You do that too. If they moan or boo or they get upset, you just stay in it and you just let them rest with peace.
They teach that in pre-K. And
I did. No one taught me it. I sort of knew that.
Stay in the bit, children.
That was genetic. I had that. I come from a long line of people that stay in the bit. It's just an evolution. But also, do you think we've got a thing? I don't think I've got a thing. Like, Chris has got black, but, he's rich, educated. He's hardly fucking Kunta Kinte, is he? Do you know what I mean?
Boy, did I luck up with that.
Oh, boy.
You've got, Jewish doesn't count. No,
I don't use that.
No, I know. No, I know.
But it's in there.
It's in there. Oh, yeah.
We'll pull it out from time to time.
It's a gear you slip into once in a while.
It's in the DNA.
Do you think you have to have a thing? Have you got, I think you...
You got to figure something out.
You've got to have a voice. You've got to have a voice.
Yeah, that's what a voice.
Thinking about our acts, that's what we do is take a subject and just don't leave it alone until there's nothing left of it.
I think
for you, it's like whatever. If it's soap or shampoo, you're going to put the shampoo bottle there and just poke at it and bludgeon it.
If there's something about it that initially got you.
Yes.
That you go, there's something there.
And then Chris does it in a way that's even more blatant because he'll even keep repeating. If the premise is, women can't live without money or whatever it is, all your chauvinist bullshit things that you say. You'll keep repeating it over and over again. Women
can't go down in lifestyle.
Women can't go down in lifestyle. That's his thing. So he said it to you too. Women can't go down in lifestyle. Then he'll explain it from 50 angles and he'll say, women can't go down in lifestyle. They can't. They can't go down. And then he'll
Yeah,
explain,
but he
explain,
has
explain.
to do that because that's a richer idea than they're used to hearing from a comedian.
That's right.
So he has to teach them.
Oh, I think he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah.
And a lot of comedians have great jokes, and they don't like, why isn't this working? It's not working because the audience does not understand the premise.
That's right.
So I just, like, I'm going to make sure, if I set this premise up right, this joke will always work. But if I kind of go namby-pamby about setting up the premise.
One of my favorite bits of his is that when white people are rich, they're just rich forever and ever. Even their kids are rich.
Yeah.
But when a black guy gets rich, it's countdown to when he's poor again.
He's the blackest white guy I
Wow.
fucking know. And then all the negative things we think about black people, this fucker.
You're saying I'm a nigger.
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever.
Amazing.
I don't think he could do that.
Oh,
What?
I don't think he has those
There's only
qualities.
two.
you,
I love the
I
fact that-
mean,
That I'm
no,
not-
you don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him like I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about...
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
we
use
say
that
nigger on stage.
On stage.
You guys don't. That's an
Yeah.
interesting two teams
That's the
here.
difference between.
That's right. That's right. We say
can pair
nigger on
up in
stage, you
different
guys
ways,
don't.
but that's definitely a pairing. Who
We
says
say-
nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
You and me say
No,
nigger
no,
in
no,
private.
no.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private
I've
much.
given it up just because it's played.
I don't believe it's. I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life.
No,
I don't
never.
think. No. Yeah, that's it. That's a huge difference between you and me, I think.
Well,
Is what I've said
you
it.
found the humor of it.
Yeah.
I haven't found it.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
I mean,
So-
joking aside,
Find a way. Find a way.
Can I squeeze some
You know what,
comedy
though?
out
Jerry,
nigger?
all of a sudden having a great nigger bit would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it
It
would
would be amazing.
Oh, it'd be
I know
amazing.
because he retired it.
Yeah.
He retired it.
No, he
in
did.
'96.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Anytime you come even close to cursing, people, ooh, shit.
Well, I had a conversation with you on the phone once where you said the F word is like a Corvette. That's what you said. And I hung up and I thought, well,
Did
that
he
means.
say- did he say
so-
the F word or
He said
the-
the F word. He said it's like a Corvette, and I said later I thought, well, that means it's fast and it's cool. It's a good, it's got power and thrust to it. And then I thought, wait a minute, this guy grew up in Long Island and collected Porsches. So to him, a Corvette is a piece of shit with a Chevy engine. It's a flashy bullshit car. And where I grew up, a Corvette is an awesome car. And only fucking faggots from
First car I bought,
that's what you bought.
Corvette, red Corvette.
And pussies from Long Island drove fucking
Yes,
Porsches.
yes.
I didn't
Well,
want
this
nothing
is-
to do
Yes,
with
and
it.
when I met him, when
So
I
it's
started
all-
being more friendly with him,
Yeah.
I guess I got to get a Porsche.
Yes.
But this is really
Yeah.
important though, because do you think that I think with comedy, it's not a rule of thumb, but I think you have to be the underdog. There's no place for being above the audience. And some people say,
Not
Your
this
whole
fucker.
place
is.
No, Jerry.
no, it's about
Jerry's
empathy.
different,
No,
yes.
But wait,
It's an illusion.
Jerry's different.
Well, whether it's an illusion or not, he's different.
You're
and that's what
talking. You're the only one in the room talking.
Yeah.
That puts you above them. Period.
but no, Jerry,
Everyone shut
you
up. I'm
still-
going to talk. You don't need to say anything beyond that.
But you don't go on stage talking about your success and your wealth and what
I
you
do.
do. And what you, do you?
does.
Well,
I
I do, but I do it
He used to do
ironically.
it
I do it.
better than me.
I do it ironically, like
yes.
I'm better than people, but I'm playing that card. So I'm actually saying I'm not better than them. But I think comedy is about empathy. And do you think that you get away from it? Do you think you lose touch? Because come on,
I don't think it's
we're
about
white-
empathy. I think it's about.
It's totally different with Jerry, I think.
What are you talking about?
You're different
What, I
than
do
us?
something different.
Yeah, I think so.
you do something different, yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous. But
No, I don't think he does.
Why would that be
No, I
ridiculous?
don't think he does. I
No,
think
you're a
because it's
singular comedian. You're different than other comedians.
I disagree. I think he's more everyman than us because I think he looks at things and he takes things that
I don't
everyone
mean-
worries
even
about.
mean that
and
he's not every man.
He's the purest observational comic here. He is the purest
Yes, he
observational
is.
comic out of all of us.
And he does it in a way that nobody would. I can't believe that I live that every day and I never put it just exactly that precise. He's a virtuoso. He plays it like a
oh,
violin.
that's very sweet. I'm so glad I came.
Did you ever struggle and feel like you weren't good ever, even in the beginning? I mean, I can't
Not
imagine.
too
I
long.
can't imagine that you.
Not too long.
No.
I was pretty lucky. It was a few months. The worst it ever was I was hitting 500. I would have a good show and a bad show, and a good show and a bad show.
And when is that? What stage is that? Is that first starting out?
First starting at 21 years old, yeah.
So you were 21 and you started in New York clubs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And right away, your first show was a good or bad?
Bad.
Bad. You did 5 minutes, or
Right.
and you sucked for 5.
Right.
So what happened in your? I think that's a good question to ask all of you. What happened between your first time and the second time? What made you go back?
Well, all I had to do was do it once.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Really, success wasn't my objective. It was just I want to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
If I could be one of those guys, I win everything.
Yep.
Money was not the thing. So once I stepped on there the first time, that's it. I'm now one of these guys.
Right.
I'm just going to keep doing this.
And is that because you wanted to hang out with comedians, or people perceive you as being?
You wanted that to be your identity. You wanted to be one of those people.
Right. Right.
No, that's what I started in Boston, and I felt that there was these comedians. They were like this, like Olympus, this group of guys.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be one of them, and
Right.
I didn't care if I sucked at it.
That's right. That is a
just wanted
very
to qualify.
successful attitude. You
Yeah.
just want to be one of those guys. What was the first bit that you came up with that you thought, wow, I really got something there?
It was a bit about street signs, and that they should be punctuated, because I would read them differently than other people.
I remember this
Like,
bit. I remember
yeah, I probably
this.
did an opening for you, like drive slow, children, instead of drive slow, children. Or, no, you turn, things like that. And
I had a similar bit. Left turn, okay. Do you remember me doing that?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar.
So that
Left turn, okay. It's like,
Yeah.
we're not that impressed, but
Yeah.
you must do it.
Yeah.
I did that and it killed, and I thought, like, this is something I'm capable of.
Right, right. What about you?
Yeah.
A bit?
A bit that you thought, hey, I really have I
Wow.
came up with something. That's a real comedian bit.
Oh my God, a real comedian bit. Oh God, I'm so embarrassed. I did some horrible bit about black porn and white porn.
That was a great
I
bit.
remember that
The
bit.
black porn, the girl had
I still think about
a
that
bullet
bit.
wound in
It's a
her
great-
ass,
Yes, those are great stretch marks.
stretch marks.
And they looked like when you took a picture of the black girl, you didn't have her permission, like she's looking like this. And white porn, they're all airbrushed. And they're
Here's
beautiful.
the thing I love about bits. This is why it is comedian thing is different. Really good bits
Yeah.
go deep into your head and keep coming back. I'm sure I think about that bit honestly
Yeah.
once a month.
Oh man.
Because it was the first time, and I apologize for how naive this sounds, that I realized, black people live in a different world than white people.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that till I heard that bit. So their Playboy is different from our Playboy.
Yeah.
And they're not that thrilled with it. So and I didn't know any
Well,
of
that's
that.
the funny bit. That's the funny bit as well, from your perspective, that they're not that thrilled with it. So it's complaining
Your wording
again.
is
Like,
so
you're imposing this Jewishness. And like, they're whining. They're whining about their culture. Oh, we do that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
That would have been a great bit, though, if you did that. Black people's porn
Yeah, exactly,
is different than white porn. And guess what? They're not thrilled with it.
Bound, but down.
Yeah, they're not thrilled with it.
How can we help this porno?
Yeah. White porn,
But I
we have
swear,
airbrush.
I do think about that bit.
It's
And
interesting
unfortunately, the
perspective.
porn hasn't gotten much better.
What was your first bit? What was your
Black
first bit
porn
ever?
still kind of sucks.
My first bit that I thought, that's a real bit, was about the tramway between Manhattan and Roosevelt Island, 1976. The city was going bankrupt. I go, oh, that's great. They're putting up rides for us. Next thing, you know the bit?
Yes, I do.
Next thing, I guess they'll be putting up a roller coaster through the ghetto. I couldn't figure
That's
out
right.
what word to use for
I
that.
saw that recently on YouTube.
That is
Really?
so. I
and it was
remember-
a time trip for me because
Let
you
me
said
finish it.
ghetto.
I go, that'll be the first roller coaster where they scream on the flat part of the ride.
Yeah,
That's right.
I remember that. I remember that.
Right.
Woo!
1976.
Ghetto.
But I didn't know. I say Harlem, maybe that'll be a problem. I don't know what to say. I said ghetto.
That's weird because I caught ghetto as a weird. Why is he saying ghetto?
Well, what could I say? I don't know what to
Ghetto.
say.
You're supposed to say the
Where's
ghetto.
the ghetto? It's the generic term. Can't offend anyone.
Roller coasters
Right.
through the
Make
ghetto.
it economic. Well, that's it.
It's like-
You made it economic. instead of race, didn't you? That's what you're worried about, I presume. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because it could have been the Jewish ghetto in
Well, of
Warsaw.
course, yeah.
Sure.
Just
Could he meant
poor dangerous. He was saying the poor dangerous people.
Yes.
That's what he was saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right. What was your first bit that you did on?
I know it really well.
I wrote it last week.
No, it was only it was about I suppose 2 years before I became a comedian. I was on the radio, and it was a bit that I developed and always brought up. It was facts on the internet that I thought were spurious, and the animal facts were my favourite. So I go through and I deconstruct the motive, the person that put it on there. Why is this? And is there, elephants have been caught swimming 2 miles out off the coast of England, and I go, caught swimming, like it's illegal. What are they doing wrong? And I couldn't believe how easy it was to personify animals. And then I felt guilty. I thought, this is almost cheating, because it's instantly funny. You personify an animal. And I thought, oh. So then I started worried about, it's not just being funny, it's being proud of your stuff and doing things that other people couldn't do. Mm-hmm. And it started really screwing with me. But just going out there and just being funny, that's another thing. Are we allowed to just go out there and be funny?
What does that mean?
Well, it worries me. I feel that it's cheating just to go out there. I think anyone can be funny.
What?
Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
Because I feel guilty about just being able to make people laugh. So I wanna do it with a heart of gold.
social setting?
Please.
No, on stage. I want them to go, that wasn't just luck. He worked on that bit, and I couldn't come up with that. Because I'm also conscious about comedians who go out there and they're anodyne and safe, and they say things we could all think, and
They
it
know
works.
They don't do very well.
20 minutes
They do.
in.
No,
They fill
After
fucking
20
stadiums.
minutes.
Yeah.
They do well.
No,
After
they
people who don't know comedy.
No, guys like
no,
that they get quickly to a place and then they
Right.
stay there.
We're sort of elitist, and we think that we know what's good and what's allowed, but there are comedians out there that can sell arenas around the country, particularly in Britain, and they go out there and they say, isn't it funny? You take an umbrella out and it doesn't rain, and yet the Times... And people are going, yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
but
They couldn't be laughing any harder.
That's for a
to the
year,
point where I
though.
want to go, I'm not going on.
Yeah, but
because they
that's-
can't laugh anymore at that.
Yeah, but there's also a level above that, because like when you follow guys like that who get right to the easiest possible laugh and they get a huge laugh, you can still, when you go on stage, you can feel the people go, yeah, but this is now something.
Yeah, and how many
this is now something a lot
unfunny
better.
comedians? Anybody can get hot, have a hot year, play this big place, that big place. Who the hell has ever sustained a career not being funny? Nobody.
Yeah, you can't. Not being really, truly.
This is when I finished the
It
sitcom,
can't do
I
it.
wanted to be back in this role, because one of the things that bothered me about acting is a lot of people just say they can do it and can.
Certainly they
There's
can.
nobody in this world that says they can do it
No.
and can't
No,
do
it's
it.
like people that say easy laughs
Yeah.
or cheap laughs doesn't exist.
No.
Like people say things about like comedians that curse and comedians that don't curse. If you use fuck, you're getting an easy laugh. Let's see you go get a laugh with fuck so easily.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't mind if I'm getting a laugh on something that's like, I have certain things in my act. I have laughs that I get that are, I feel like I got a laugh somewhere that nobody's gotten a laugh before. I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But then I get laughs where I'm like, this is a huge, broad, cheap laugh, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I
You
don't mind.
I
don't
think
mind that.
I think
If it's
I'll do it.
inside of my
Do
act.
you know what I think I'll do that, but I'll cut that for the DVD. I
Oh,
don't
really?
mind
Just to
getting
get
it in
the
each
energy?
town.
No, I
but
like
I'll cut
it. I
that. I
like
don't want
having-
it out there. I don't want it documented that I got a cheap laugh.
If you can stand on stage and say it, and it works that big, then it's yours. And to cut it out because you're embarrassed, that's kind of not fair
I
to
have
that
to
thing.
justify it. I have to work on it. I have to give it something else. This is where I think that I'm judged. I let myself be judged. You. I want you guys to go.
Well, let me tell you what
Do you know
impresses
what I mean?
me. If you leave it in, that's what will impress me.
It's in. It's in.
Like when I've started to put an hour together, when I get to the, like after I've written all this stuff and I start deciding what am I going to stop doing, there are bits that I got to through technician work and through survival instinct that I don't believe in. I've had bits that kill and I get rid of them.
There you go.
Because I just realizing that I've
then
had
you
that
agree
thought.
with me.
And I think this bit
2 against 2.
This bit is
2 against 2.
This bit is
Come on.
working because I know how to do stand up. It's not working because it's something that's important to me and I don't need it. I don't need it.
I agree.
Or this is a laugh I've gotten before.
Now, I'll take stuff out of a special because I covered that two specials ago.
Right.
And, you know, but...
Yeah, but just what he's saying,
But-
just by virtue of the fact that
it was easy
he
to
thinks
get to?
it was easy.
I don't want to do a thing that anyone in the
I don't-
audience could do. I don't want to make jokes.
No,
that
you shouldn't
everyone-
be doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think.
But again, we got to talk about the joke.
But don't think about us. I mean, I've never done a fart joke, but I've heard fart jokes that have made me laugh.
Yeah, well, you choose your
I've
thing,
never,
of course.
You know
No,
what I mean?
that-
Like,
I don't even mean
I've never
that.
done a shit joke. You've made me cry with shit jokes. You know what I mean? So...
He's got a lot of shit jokes.
got a lot of shit
yeah, he's
jokes.
got a
I've
lot of shit jokes, and I'll laugh.
I've got about 10
you know?
new minutes on shit, and it's
Oh.
all throughout the act. It's not even like a
I
shit
saw
chunk.
Adam Sandler.
It's just that if you
farts.
collected all my...
It's
Oh,
shit all the way
that's
through.
great. That's great.
There's a
It's
vein
throughout.
of shit
I
through
can't get
your
off of it.
act. I've always said that.
I saw
can't get off of
Sandler
it.
fart on David Hasselhoff's head in a movie. It was the
That's
funniest
the
thing in the
funniest
world.
thing in the world.
It was
No,
fucking,
I am
it's
the
hysterical.
stuff I laugh at the dumbest things. I laugh at the years and years ago I saw a comic in some horrible club bombing with a guitar, and he sang "Sitting on a Cock 'Cause I'm Gay," and that's still.
Yeah, but
I'm in the shower sitting, and I can't.
But you're
not laugh.
laughing ironically.
It's the funniest thing I
But
ever
you're
heard
laughing
in my life.
ironically.
No,
'cause-
that,
yeah.
No.
that is a...
No.
It's
Well,
a,
I did. I laughed ironically at you setting up this guy struggling and doing it. I laughed ironically.
No, it's true. I love
Yes,
the
you do.
sadness
You're
of
not
him.
laughing because that's a clever, funny line. But you're
the-
laughing at the context.
Why are you so upset? It's just funny.
It's funny, but we're laughing at
you
it.
gotta
we're
get over-
laughing at
No.
it.
That is a pretty good joke.
I respect.
It's
sitting
a
on
pretty
cock
good
'cause I'm
joke.
gay.
On a cock because I'm gay. You can only laugh at that because we're intelligent, educated people, knowing that you shouldn't go out and go
fits the meter of-
sitting on a cock because I'm gay. You shouldn't do that.
Would I be upset
That's
if Jerry
why it's funny.
Seinfeld did it? Yes, I might be upset. No, you know what? I'd probably laugh.
That would be pretty.
Imagine
great.
that.
Jerry.
Imagine you went to
But you
see
gotta get-
Jerry
I
and he
get
said,
over
he
it.
said, ladies and gentlemen, I've written a great song.
mean, maybe
here.
it's old
I've
age.
changed,
I
I've
like
changed
them
the
all.
words a little bit. Do you know
Well,
Shit
you
on
don't set
Dock
up
in the
a
Bay?
song parody like that.
Well, no, a song parody. Fucking genius. Oscar Wilde.
I like them all.
A song fucking parody.
Yes.
I do parodies, ladies and gentlemen.
You
It's great.
can't be the one who decides why you like something. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I remember reading one time about Elaine Boozler talking about a bit Letterman did in '75 about toothpaste that he would spit into the sink and he would let it dry and he would serve it as after dinner mints when people would come over. It's a stupid joke. And she said, I don't know why, but I think about that joke all the time.
Yes.
And I think about that joke too. Is it a great joke? No, but there's something in that joke. In the same way there's something in that.
Yes.
That you can't,
Yeah.
that all
Respect the kill.
physical
I'll tell you the difference.
evidence
You have
to the contrary, there's something in there.
Yes, but I tell you, the
It's because
difference
he
is
found a-
he's built in the irony. The comedian is built in the irony of how mad and disgusting and funny that is. That comedian hasn't built in any irony. We built in the irony. We're laughing because we put
I don't
irony
think
onto
so.
it.
No, it's a
don't
funny
think so.
joke.
I don't think so. I really think that we just love that bit.
You just love a bit. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you worry about the industry? Do you worry about the business of comedy?
Not right now. I mean, it goes up and down. It
Seems
gets
to be pretty strong these days.
Right now, it's
Yeah.
doing pretty well.
It's as strong as you are.
What that drives me to do is continue doing what I think is selling my tickets, which is refreshing the act every
Well, it's
year.
also nice that people are out there, they can't wait to see you. And that
Yeah.
that's a responsibility because you
It
suddenly
is a
think, it's like
responsibility.
you say, people, they hire a babysitter, they have an argument, they've got to park the car, they spend whatever, they've
Yeah,
come out
going to a
in
comedian
10,000.
to a theater is.
But
is
that's why I
work
think
on
there's a
their
responsibility. That's why I
It
say
is, it's
I better
responsibility.
have something special to say. And I don't think it's just enough to do 60 minutes of them laughing because they can't take that with them, right? Whereas if you say something that's interesting or resonates or that's different, they can take it with all the best bits you remember. It stayed with you for 20 years and it's the gift that keeps on giving. If you see someone who
Sitting
just
on a
does...
cock 'cause I'm gay.
That is now the best...
Been with me for 25 years now.
It is the best line ever now. Now next time
That is-
interviewed
It
by
is.
Time magazine.
You know
what's
what's
the
weird?
funniest thing ever?
You've talked to me
Probably,
about
sitting
that
on a
bit.
cock
Yeah, I've told you about
'cause
that
I'm
bit
gay.
years ago. Yeah.
What he's saying is, because he's gay, he has to sit on some
right.
cock. Some
And it
cock,
happens
any
to
cock.
fit beautifully over the template of
Yeah.
Well, it's like
sitting
it's
on
the
the dock
last
by the
thing
bay.
Otis Redding thought he was setting up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
yeah,
last
exactly.
thing he
Listen,
thought.
no one-
He was, I'm going to help
right.
some guy
Say
do a lame gay joke.
Yeah.
By writing this song.
Anderson Cooper's gonna beat our ass.
He checked with his wife. Honey, is there anything they could change this in a... No, no one could ever
way.
spoof
I've
that.
looked at it.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
No.
There's no way. Exactly.
It's going to touch people. They're going to be moved.
Is
And
he
it will
sitting-
never be
Poetry.
used for anything else.
Is he sitting on the cock? Is he just sort of sitting on the cock?
Yeah,
like
'cause he's gay.
Or is
He's
he...
really sitting on the balls.
He's sitting on the balls, but the cock is up, right up.
But if you said sitting on some balls because the cock attached to them is inside of me,
scan.
because I'm gay, does not. Otis Redding didn't.
I was
help
going to
him
be
with that.
laughing, going, they can't make it scan. They haven't got it. Let's walk away. And
No,
they go, no, I've
exactly.
got it, Otis.
Sitting on a cock because I'm gay, and then he stops. Doesn't need the rest of the
Where's
song.
he going? There's no place to go. He's there.
I love bits.
Does he
where-
do the whistle?
I love the.
Does he do the whistle? Oh, God. He does, and it's even higher pitched. Does he do the whistle?
That's
Oh, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
Fuck me.
See? That's why it was worth doing the whole bit.
I have a question because there's an interesting comparison here, which is that everybody here is filthy except for you. You're perfect.
Really?
You're perfectly clean. I mean, you
Well, I don't
never
know
curse.
about perfect.
Do you say shit on stage
No.
or asshole?
No.
So
you
why
had
not
a
perfect?
fuck.
Oh, well, we all did.
No, you
Yeah,
had a
no,
fuck
in
around
the old days, yeah.
around 9/11 or something.
Oh, that was it.
Right, about the one tower or something.
Yeah. We did.
Finger.
So you've said the F word once on stage.
No, when I was a kid, I used to, before I felt like I didn't want to.
Really?
And did it get laughs?
Yeah, well.
But you
was a
cut it
funny-
out because you were guilty. You felt guilty about it. You felt it was
I'll
cheap.
tell you what the bit was.
Go on.
It was a Superman bit, and it was something about how inept this newspaper would have to be, that these people, they don't even see the resemblance. These are journalists, you know? And the glasses just completely disguises this guy. And then it was something about, meantime, two of them are stuck in a fucking cave every week, you know? And that was the bit. And then I said, well, let me see if it works without the word.
Right.
And I took the word out. Didn't work. And that's what bothered me.
Okay, you didn't
The
like.
rhythm of it and the edge of that, it needed that.
But it's not about the swear word there. It's about you
It's
getting
about the
worked.
rhythm.
No, it's about you getting worked up.
Yeah,
it's about
you're right.
this guy he means this. He's so annoyed.
Right.
The fucking cave.
You're right.
That's funny. That's contempt for the cave they're
You're
living
right.
in.
You're right. If I was a good enough comedian in those days to change the joke, but it bothered me that it didn't work at all without the word.
But I think the interesting thing there is that they laughed at that because they saw your
You are
personality,
correct.
your anger.
It's
That's
the
what's-
anger that makes it funny.
And I
But
love
I
that.
didn't know how to supplant it with something else that would communicate the anger. I didn't know how to do that.
But this is what
Plus, I didn't even know that.
I think we all do it a little bit, but you guys do it a lot, and you do it most of all. That you can be spluttering and spitting and saying the same thing over again, but because you're getting angrier, you're making me laugh harder. Because I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you in this situation, angry at this, and I believe you. I believe you're angry, and I think.
Well, and I've had different feelings about the word fuck. Like I made a rule for myself one year because I felt like I watched a show of mine and I was like, this is getting stupid.
But it's all about context.
It's a
isn't
way-
It
it's a
is all
thing
about
of-
context. You know.
No, to me, it's all about fear. When
But who do you fear? Who
you're fearing this bit's not going to work.
Yeah, stand-up is unlike any other art form in that way that you can do like if you're a musician, you're going to be pretty exact every time you perform, but you look back on shows and you go, I messed all that up. That was I was driven by fear and instead of by
I mean, I think
intention.
we deal with fear more viscerally than almost anyone. I mean,
Yeah.
you feel the audience's fear, your own fear. The whole show is about quelling fear. And that's what you're talking about when you have a bit that you really are confident in and you know the end of it's really strong. And the audience feels your fear level go down.
Yep.
And they relax. And they go, oh, he seems to be very confident in this one.
Yep.
And
But what do you fear now, though, Jerry? What do you fear now?
the same thing.
What though? What's that? That
That
they
it's
don't
not
laugh.
going to work.
It's not going to be
but if-
funny.
Yeah.
But hold on,
Yeah.
no, there's two different things there.
The first
something
fear is-
working, something working isn't
Okay,
something not being funny.
There's two
'Cause-
fears. The first fear is they're not going to pay attention. And
But they've paid.
that's the
That's
the
'cause you work
biggest
for-
fear.
That's the black
It's
audience.
bigger than not being funny. If they pay attention and they
where
don't
are
laugh,
you playing?
it's still a show.
Yeah.
Here's something I've never done in my entire career.
What?
A sound check.
I do sound check every show.
So do I.
You know,
It's
when I do
really
my sound
smart.
check when I walk out.
I
there.
never do it.
I do a
do my
sound
first
check.
That's why I
bit
tell
and-
them I go like this if I need more.
Right.
That's what I tell them. I'll do this if I need it in the monitors more. I'll go this if I need
go
it.
to
You
sound
never
check.
sound check. I'm worried about if I have to
I
do
just
it.
want to know where the stage is. I want to know if there's a pit. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to know the
I like getting
acoustics
totally
a little
surprised
bit.
by the room.
I don't
Really?
like. I don't like being surprised.
I don't want any surprises.
That's so
I don't want.
funny.
I go. Is that going to be off? That exit sign's
Every
I don't
show-
want anything. Any surprises.
By the way,
or
I'm only
anything puts
there-
me
I
off.
like it. I like the surprise.
Because I didn't bring.
Sound check's 15 minutes, but
You gotta go
no.
there.
I go
Yeah,
to that. I
I'm there
go.
3 hours
I
early.
also want to know. I also have this fear of not knowing where the fucking theater is. I'm in some limo with some guy I don't fucking know. What if he's kidnapping me? Like, what if he's taking me to his fucking lair?
His lair.
What about, I think comedy. Well, when you become comedians, though, isn't it to do with controlling a situation?
It's like a relationship. Again, it's
Yeah.
Here we go.
you know your woman is with you because you assume she loves you because she's there every day, but you still have to work on her liking you in order for this
Yeah.
to work.
Right.
As a relationship.
Yeah, an audience will come and they're excited that
Yeah.
you're there.
Yeah, that's right.
But I want to do that by being myself, and of course,
Yes,
the metaphor.
but you
falls
still
down.
have to give some
course.
effort.
You
You can't
of course.
just come
You've
home.
got-
Hey, I paid the rent. Like me.
But I suppose, and that worried me. I think the reason I did stand-up was I thought I hadn't earned my spurs in a way. I mean, most comedians slog around for 15
Right.
years and they want to get a sitcom. I walked into the BBC with a thing I made, and it was The Office.
Right.
And then after The Office, I thought, I should show that I can do this other thing, this stand-up thing. I always get asked this question, you must get asked it all the time, is there anything you shouldn't joke about? And I always say, no, there's nothing you shouldn't joke about. It depends what the joke
It's not
is.
should, it's could.
Well,
Can you?
I don't think that there's a bad thing to talk about because I think that
I agree.
a great thing about comedy is taking people to places that they have fear and foreboding
I
and,
totally
and,
agree.
and making them laugh in that place. I think you
Absolutely.
help them.
I also think that that there's this spate of people thinking that comedy is your conscience taking a day off. My conscience never takes a day off. You've got to be able to justify it. You don't ever think it was a joke, it was a terrible thing and someone was hurt, but it was a joke. You don't think like that, do you? You don't think that comedy is the be-all and end-all of something. You still have a responsibility to not hurt an innocent person.
No, I think that comedy is the be-all and end-all.
Well, that's
No,
our
you
our
don't,
job
though.
is to think that.
We
I
used to
think.
have a rule on my old show.
Is to think, our responsibility is to think that it's the be-all end-all.
It is to be all in it, but we
That's
used to
our
have
role.
a thing. We go,
No, because
talk about what
then
they
you tell
do.
real racist jokes. You tell real...
No, I wouldn't. I'm not.
No, he's not.
No. But I'm saying if you think that someone you'll get
But
a laugh,
he's
we think
black,
that's
it's
funny.
okay.
Yeah, I'm black. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm the
yeah.
blackest
I
guy.
always
he
say,
knows.
talk about what they do, not what they are.
Of course.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
People
That's
do
it.
some crazy shit. You talk about the crazy shit, but if you think they are some, you know what I mean?
I don't know
You know,
how it
that
all.
hits a little
Yeah,
harder.
of course,
You know
of
what I
course.
mean?
Is that-
I
yeah.
don't know how it all operates. Sometimes I don't. Like, I have said things on stage that if I take them just as statements, they're the worst things that any person could say. I used
Sure.
to do, like, I don't know why it's always rape. I guess it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But I used to do a joke that ended with a reference to rape, and then while I was there, I would say, you should never rape anybody unless you have a good reason, like you want to fuck somebody and they won't let you. In which case, what are you gonna do? Not fuck them? That's no solution. You're gonna have to rape them. And I used to kill, and I've never gotten in trouble for it. No one's ever written a
No,
thing.
but
I
that's
can't
clear
believe
that
you
you
said
don't mean it.
And what's that?
But that's clear that you don't mean...
Yeah, I know, but I'm
you're
really
playing
just
with
saying it. Like,
Yeah.
what's one where I'm like, I know I'm fine saying this. I don't feel bad saying it. And the audience, I've seen all kinds of people laugh
it's
at that
justified.
joke.
You can
But
justify
I'm not
it.
sure why we're all okay with it, though. Like,
Because
I
you
don't
can
know why.
justify it. You can
Because of the
justify
way
that
it's
comedically.
executed. You,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
they
you
know
put it
you.
together
That-
nicely.
And
Right.
that's part of being famous. You
Right.
can't. That's the kind of thing you kind of can't get away with. Not.
Well, I
I
did
know
that
it's
bit-
not famous. That's
is.
a
Well,
dance
okay.
step. He just tap danced over 6 laser beams. That's what we like about that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. He didn't touch one laser beam.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would never out people. I remember what's his
how do
name?
you- by
Ricky
the way-
Martin used to. He's gay.
Yeah.
He came out. But I used to always watch comedians talk about his gayness before he came out
Right.
on shows, and I think that was like the meanest shit in the world.
Yeah.
And I had no problem saying La Vida Loca sucked.
Of course.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But to say
Yeah.
that guy
Well,
is...
I like that song.
But to say that he did was going too far.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very funny,
exactly.
Ricky.
So there are what they do. Not actually, I like La Vida Loca, but you know what I mean. Like,
I've got a song for him
what
actually.
They do,
it's a
not what they
reworking
are.
of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, and I think it'd be a great single.
Sitting on the dock 'cause I'm gay. Sitting on the cock 'cause I'm gay. Probably.
With the Spanish horn, right?
Yeah.
So.
How long do you wait when you go out before you come back as an encore? I don't wait at all. I go, thanks very much, good
Because you
night.
don't want them to
I come
stop
out and I go,
clapping.
they must stop clapping. I go, hi, like that.
You shouldn't wait.
I give it about 8 seconds.
No,
yeah,
that's
I'm
too
too
long.
nervous.
Too long.
I don't make them wait. Well, I don't. I used to come back. I used to have the encore be an afterthought, like people used to yell out. It's the only time I would do old bits. People would yell out bits they want me to do and stuff. But now I actually close with, like, I have a bit that I close with, but really the really dynamite closing stuff is the encore. So, like, I'll leave on something it's my third favorite bit.
Right.
And then it feels like the encore is like, all right, I'll do a little more, and then the encore is way better than anything I did.
You're
during
like a
the show.
band. That's like what a band does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Mine's probably the riskiest bit.
It really makes people really, really happy. But I
Yeah.
can't risk people not asking for an encore.
Of course,
Like,
no,
I can't do
I've
it because
also-
then it's a weak show. It's too short.
Well, also,
And
I've left the bit. I like to think I've left the bit to
Yeah.
last that I couldn't possibly do at the beginning because they'd hate me.
Right.
But now I've won them over. I get away with this bit. That's the other thing.
I don't do
Not
it.
always.
You don't do an
you don't do
encore?
one?
No, he
I
doesn't
do a
do it.
long ass show,
And then you go
and
home.
I get the fuck out of there.
But don't they think you're going to come back?
No, I mean maybe they do.
Do you
but
warn them? Do you say I don't do encores?
you know what? I've been doing it long enough. They
Well,
get
also,
it.
if the room-
It's a long fucking show.
How long do you do?
Do about an hour 40 last tour.
I do it an hour 10. What do you do?
About 90 minutes.
Really? That's. They're both long to me. What do you do, Joey?
115, one.
I do. Yeah. I do.
like
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, 110, 120.
That's exactly. Yeah. Wow. I'm not. I think
This
they're
year I've
sick of
done
me by
short
then.
I don't
shows.
have the office.
You know, it's true what
This
you
is
were
how-
saying.
This is how I actually make my money. I've amassed my fortune actually telling jokes. So,
An extra 20 he does has made him very
yes,
rich.
this is like,
Yeah.
I've never.
ladies and gentlemen, I am not here on the side.
But don't you ever think as well, when you say we make people have this feeling of laughter and they pay us money, what if they discover they can do it themselves?
They can
can't.
do it themselves.
Yeah, but why are they paying us?
They can't do it
No,
as
they-
well.
they can't do it as well.
We are a high octane version of it. We're pros.
We're drugs, in a
Yeah.
sense.
They can play touch football too.
I want to tell them they can do it
They can
themselves.
play. They can watch each other play football.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's not like
There's a
watching
lot
the
of
Super Bowl.
things.
It doesn't hurt the NFL.
there's a lot
it
of
doesn't.
things that make you feel
Yeah,
good,
the
but
NFL
cocaine's good every time.
The
Yeah,
guys
I know.
that make money
Yeah.
on the Super Bowl aren't going, if people play football in their backyard, they're not going to watch this anymore.
But it's not like going to a
It's
doctor
okay.
when you go, you know how it costs me to have my kid, next time I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
It's not like that. You know what I mean? You need to go to the doctor, you need to
I
take
bet
out-
you could, though. I bet that's a lot of bullshit. I bet if we concentrate, like if it was considered a good idea, you could train people to do surgery in their houses.
Yeah.
You'd have like a kitchen and you'd have like a little operating room,
My,
laundry
fir-
room.
my first operation.
Yeah,
It's
and
only
you just would
bunions.
take out. I bet
I
you could.
know.
You could go on the internet and get the fucking take out an appendix.
I saw
bet
a
I
guy
could take out an appendix.
park a 18-wheeler into a little space about a week
That's
ago.
fucking
And I
amazing.
said, you know what? I guarantee there's fucking heart surgery that's not as hard as what this guy just did.
Yeah, I
He
stopped. And
fucking wheeled it
Yeah.
in there, like whipped it in there.
I
quick.
watched a guy go into a loading dock, a back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I stopped and I said that was amazing.
And then he did an encore.
Yeah.
And I stopped and I said that was incredible. And he goes, what? And I said that was beautiful. And he went, like he didn't go, oh, thank you. He was like, yeah, no, I know.
Should we do some? Should we do some promos that we might
Wow.
use or whatnot? What do you think? You care?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, one,
Her right there.
right, two. 1, 2, 3. Hey, what's up? This is Chris Rock, and please join me and some of the greatest comedians in the world, Louis C.K., Jerry Seinfeld, and Ricky Gervais on HBO's Talking Shit with Funny People.
Jerry, your turn.
Hi, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. Welcome to Talking Funny. We hope you'll join us. I'm with Louis C.K., Chris Rock, and Ricky Gervais. Is that how you say it?
Close enough.
I'm Louis C.K. Please join me and my guests Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and Ricky Gervais as we talk about comedy and cum.
Hi, I'm Ricky Gervais. Join me Louis C.K., Chris Rock, and the funniest comedian in the world,
great.
Jerry Seinfeld. Not my words, his. Only on HBO.
Come on, you got to do one more, so they can't use that.
No, we are using that one.
No, you can't.
No, yeah, and it's going to be...
I'll sue you.
Brenner's got one like that.